Hey everybody, this is Coach Madeline for Youth Football Online. Today we're going to be discussing the quick passing game, most importantly the coverage beater aspect of it. The reason why you have to have coverage beaters, especially if you're a spread offense team or an I formation type team, more than likely you're going to see more than one coverage going into your weekly matchup. It's not like if you're a wing T or an option team where you have a good feel on what they're going to run, but if you're a spread team especially, you know teams are going to try to disguise coverages, give you different coverages every snap, so it's important to beat both sides of the field with a different type of coverage beater. Cover 2 beaters, these are just some that were given out today. I'm sure you probably have your own favorites that you can run as well. Cover 2, we've always liked slant arrow and hitting that slant right over the backer and underneath the safety. Hitch flag, we like hitting a bend flag by number 2. Okay, again, against cover 2, the safety's going to play over top, so especially since it's the quick game, it has to be a quick bend. Double hitch seam versus cover 3, the hitch is almost always wide open. Double hitch, same thing, if the backer starts cheating in cover 3 and trying to play the flat, you might hit the inside hitch. Cover 4, slant arrow, no one's going to cover the arrow. Double hitch is good there too. And then obviously you need to have man coverage beaters. You need to be able to go up against man-to-man coverage, man-free, man under 2 deep, whatever it is, and be able to run the quick passing game. My 2 favorites, or my 3 favorites, has been double slants. You take your best matchup. If we can beat the backer inside here, throw it right now. If not, the backer runs with them, and you can get inside release, you throw it to number 1. It's a good concept. The other one, I don't really have a name in terms of a route. You might call this something different if you already have it in your offense. And it's similar to the last one, is the rub route. The rub route is number 2 runs almost like a skinny, and he's almost never going to get thrown the ball, especially against man-to-man. You might have a safety playing man-free or whatever. But number 1 is going to go right off of them. He's going to take 2 steps up, threaten this corner playing man, hopefully back him up a little bit, and go right directly inside. Almost similar to a middle screen. You're going to throw the ball right here. And once he gets the ball, especially if it's man-to-man, get up now and get your yardage. You might be able to get 5, 6, 7 yards off this play, but it's good. Hit him. He can't pick it. Get up. That's what we call the rub route. And then a slant seam. Not too many teams run this version or run something called a slant seam. However, we've run it in the past. You've got to make sure that your split end is near the sideline. You've got to make sure your number 2 is really close to the tackle. He's going to run a straight seam. They're going to cover it man, run with him. He beats them inside, runs the slant right here. As long as they're not near each other, they shouldn't run into each other. So those are our coverage beaters. However, how do we use them? First thing is, we want to get a 6-man protection with the line. Just 6. If you have 6 guys protecting, you're fine. If you have 7, then you're going to limit yourself. You can't do as much to both sides. Right now we're running off an offset twins formation. So right now if we have this. However you call your pass protection, if it's by number, if it's by word, whatever it might be. So let's say if 100 or let's say if 300 is your pass protection for everything. So let's say right now you call 300 and then you start with your twin receiver side going to weak side. Or you start right to left. Again, this all depends on your philosophy and however you want to do this. So let's say we call our coverage beaters from right to left, always, doesn't matter what it is, and our number is 300. Let's say that signifies that it's quick game. We go in against the team. We might want to have a cover 2 beater to one side and a man beater to the other. So how technically do we call that? All right, it's a little tough, but we can call 300. And let's have our name. We could have slant arrow, and we have slant seam. Now, what do you have to do? You're not going to call this terminology when you're actually calling the game. You're going to have names for this. So we have a name for slant arrow. So let's say if we call slant arrow, let's call it shoot. So we'll call it shoot. Okay, that's slant arrow. They'll be on this side. And man, slant seam. Okay, let's call it sass. Okay, makes sense. Receiver's going to remember it better because it has the S. So you know somebody's going to be running a slant, double S seam. So right now we have shoot to this side. And we have sass to this side. So how are we going to run it? We only got one receiver. However, slant, seam. So now you got both coverage beaters. Now, you take a look. We teach our quarterbacks how many safeties are in the middle of the field? So right now if he sees this, one safety. He could think it's cover 3, sure, absolutely. Or it could be man. If we know that week that this team's going to be disguising and running a lot of man free against us or cover 2, right now, if they're in their man free look, we're going to go to the man coverage beater side. This backer is going to cover the back out of the backfield, run the seam. So he's going to come underneath, and you're going to hit the slant because you're going to throw it to the side where you have your coverage beater called to. So you can run it that way. Now, if you don't want to do it that way, and you're a spread team, there's no different than doing this. Now you're in spread. You're in double, you're in twin slot. Now you just run it from here. You're running slant seam. This kid's running the seam. He's going to race him. You're going to throw a slant underneath. Now you have your coverage beater. So that's basically how everything works. And again, you could do it to either side because you have a 6-man protection, the back to protect the other side. Let's say if you go in 1 week, and you know the team runs cover 2 and cover 3. Okay? So you have a team that runs a lot of 2, a lot of 3. You don't know what they're going to be in against you. So let's say you have your cover 2 beater, hitch flag. Hitch flag, let's call that Hofstra. Again, a name that makes sense. It has both routes in there. And the kids will understand it. So Hofstra to the right, that's your cover 2 beater, and cover 3 to the left. Let's have hitch. Let's go Hofstra, Harry. All right, you could call it hitch, but if you're yelling this out during the game, if somebody doesn't know what they're doing, you have to call out. I wouldn't call it hitch. No, that wouldn't be a good idea. So to the right we have Hofstra, which we named our hitch flag, our cover 2 beater. Remember, bend flag. And then over here, we have our double hitch against cover 3. So quarterback gets to the line. He knows that's our cover 2 beater, that's our cover 3 beater. He comes out and he sees this. Immediately he goes to the line. I got this, cover 2. I'm going to throw the bend flag. All right, if the corner does back up, you can throw it. But true cover 2, you'll see this, you'll play them tight, throw the bend flag, you got your cover 2 beater, and you're fine. The last thing is teams that like to roll coverages. Let's take that last concept we just ran. Same exact thing. We're going to run cover 2 beater. You know they're going to run cover 2 and cover 3. Hofstra, Harry. That's going to be our cover 2, hitch flag. Harry, again, you can name it whatever you want, is your double hitch. But let's say at the snap they do this. Right now the quarterback sees this. He's going to want to run this side. He's going to want to run the Hofstra. However, at the snap or pre-snap, right before the snap, they do this. They rotate the cover 3, which a lot of teams might do. Again, disguising coverages. Now, he can still throw the hitch, he knows that, but he knows that there's a safety coming down robbing it. So, the quarterback will see this, he'll notice the rotation, he'll now look off his cover 2 beater and go right to his cover 3 side, which he'll have both hitches wide open. Again, it's something that is simple to learn. You give these routes names that the quarterbacks, receivers will know. It's easy enough protection for the line. And if you ever get into a situation where teams like to mess with coverages, you have beaters for everything. It takes care of everything, and you can develop a nice, simple, and effective quick passing game out of it.